And welcome back to another episode of Underdog Podcast. Got to watch the Tampa Bay Lightning, Tampa Bay, as we started to call it around here in the Bay Area in Central Florida, win back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals. So the saying goes, lightning does strike twice. Wow. I watched the first two periods. After the Lightning scored and a little bit of third period, I fell asleep. But I knew they had it. I knew they had it. And let's be honest, man. I think sometimes teams just say fuck it. We don't want to win on the road. We want to win at home and celebrate with our fans. I mean, I don't think that they intentionally necessarily go out. At least everybody on the team doesn't go out that way or think that or have that mindset. But they're only human, man. It's in the back of your mind. You gotta think like, man, if we win here, we don't get to celebrate. But if we win to, the next game, we get to celebrate with all the fans and all that. We get party up and everything. So, it's a human nature to have that in your mind, though. But yeah, it was it just felt like they were clearly the better team the whole series, and I don't know that much about hockey. Like I don't know. I mean, sports is sport. To be honest with you, a team sport is a team sport. You defend, you play offense, you work together as a team. So outside of the rules and the equipment and stuff like that, that's the only difference. Sport is a sport. Don't make it bigger than what it is. But I enjoyed it, and it's nice to see like this is a full fucking arena, a full place of fans, and we're gonna kind of get into that later when we talk about the Tokyo Olympic Games. But just 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 to see that, man, just to see that people enjoying themselves. Like we know sports don't make sense. Like I mean, don't make sense. Not don't make sense. We know sports ain't shit. Like we know it's really has nothing to do with anything significant in our day to day lives, but it's a microcosm. Is that a good word? Yeah. It kind of shows us who we are as human beings, working together for a common goal, going against an opponent, right? It's all the things that we kind of governs the laws of the universe for us. You have this or that, you have this team, that team, clashing together, coming together, making something beautiful and creative and stuff, and causing chaos and having order at the same time. Because through all that chaos running around, the order comes when the goal is scored, right? And everybody celebrates the struggles, the battles, the ups and downs. It's like it's symbolism. There you go. Whew. Not think of the fucking word symbolism. So we need sports, right? Sure, the Romans understood that. The ancient Caesars and stuff like that. I'm sure they understood. Like we always had some type of activity where it helps us kind of tap into our primal instincts and get to our core humanity and just ignore all the bullshit outside of everything, especially in the modern world. That makes any fucking sense. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, I got to watch that last night and that was cool and stuff. And I probably should have went to the fucking stadium, the arena. Rat, to be honest with you, I could have went down there. My kids were with their mother, so I could have went down there. But whew, I ain't a fan like that. I ain't a fan like that. Now it was a Magic game, different, right? I grew up watching Magic, love watching the Magic play it as I was growing up and stuff, watching games with my dad. I'm still a Magic fan. I just don't really talk about it that much. I still follow the team and who they draft and what's going on, but uh, yeah, they had a rough year last year, so yeah, I try to support local sports, helps the local economy. It's just one of those feel good things. Like we know it ain't shit, but hey, it feels good, bro. Right? It feels good. And sometimes, we need these distractions as long as we maintain it as it being healthy. Now, before I go into today's topic, there's a couple of crypto news I just wanted to kind of bring up real quick. Seeing something talking about actually I won't pull up the web pages, but I have it. Some of the articles on my phone. I'll just say the headlines real quick. I know see the UFC made a deal with crypto.com to have their brand or not brand, yeah, not their branding, like the sponsorships and stuff like that on their clothing, which is interesting because they got a new contract anyways with Venom clothing, which I actually like Venom better than the Reebok clothing on the MMA fighters. But that lets you know more mainstream adoption for cryptocurrency. China's central banks are worried about stable coins. They basically saying they're a risk, and I got that from Cointelegraph. I think the UFC one was from ESPN. I just lost the webpage. And then another thing from Cointelegraph, you got France and Singapore pilot cross-border CBDC transactions. Now it's interesting because cross-border, we already know Ripple XRP, but in this article, it doesn't, of course, it's not going to specifically say that. It's saying that they did an experiment with JP Morgan's digital currency focused Onyx division, and which is interesting because then it's like, okay, France and Singapore pilot cross-border CBDC, but was it? I don't know if it was well, it has to be the central banks for them since we're talking about CBDCs anyway. So yeah, it's interesting that J.P. Morgan is kind of was involved in that experiment, but the story is still ongoing. So who knows what the actual details are? But that's just kind of a little quick update on crypto news as far as monetary, the new financial monetary system building right in front of everybody's eyes. But don't worry, nobody cares. So it is what it is. All right. Now, Trump will not go away, right? Right? And he's not even a villain anymore. But he's almost a continuous thorn in the side of mainstream media, obviously Democrats and leftists in the country and stuff like that. But it's interesting because he's he's operating right supposedly as a civilian, right? Yet he seems to wield some power of a president or a politician in this country. Just not in the sense of international, but definitely in the sense of, well, the United States citizens population, if they recognize him as a president, guess what? He's a president. Oh, you mean all these laws and legislation and he's voting and all that stuff? Well, you got an audit in Arizona, you got an audit in Georgia, Pennsylvania coming out with an audit as well. Huh. Don't ever wait for an announcement to figure out what the fuck is going on. Because by the time they flat out tell you, it's already too late. It has already happened and taken place. And you're hearing about something that happened in the past. It's not in the present. So this is an article from AP News. Associated Press. It says Trump files suit against Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So basically everybody he got fucking banned from, right? Are you gonna ban me? You gonna ban me, bitches? I mean, but we all got banned and stuff, whatever. I got my strike on YouTube. I don't even get on Facebook and Twitter. Twitter hasn't said anything to me, but they I don't get no followers anyways. Anytime I get a little bit of followers, any little bit of traction, all of a sudden it just comes to a halt, and then I lose those numbers. So it says former President Donald Trump has filed suit against three of the country's biggest tech companies, claiming he and other conservatives have been wrongfully censored. Claiming, bro, it's a literal fact. But it's not even conservatives. It's just people that don't go with the mainstream narrative. You want to say leftists or whatever. I'm not conservative. Talked about it before. I'm not conservative. Hell, I'm not anything. I mean, if you want to try to put me somewhere, you could say close to libertarian, but I say nothing at all. Don't categorize me as anything. I'm just me. I'm not necessarily apolitical, but I'm watching and paying attention, and my politics are my own, which means leave me the fuck alone. It says Trump announced the action against Facebook, Twitter, and Google's YouTube, along with the company's Mark Zuckerberg, Jack Dorsey, and Sundar Pichai at a press conference Wednesday in New Jersey, where he demanded that his accounts be reinstated. He's been suspended, blah blah. It says Twitter, Facebook, and Google are all private companies. Okay, we know that. Section 230. We know about that. Man, just well, conservatives, blah blah blah. No. I want more. I need details about the suit. It says the suit against Facebook and CEO Zuckerberg says Facebook acted unconstitutionally when it removed Trump from the platform. Suits against Twitter. Obviously, they're a platform. They're not a publisher. So you can't just take somebody off for saying something that you don't like. He didn't say nothing that incited riots or any of that shit that they claimed in the media. If you think so, go back and actually listen to his whole entire speech. Watch it, listen to it, unedit it, and you'll hear that he didn't say nothing. Right? And it says suits against Twitter and YouTube make similar claims. All three asked the court to award unspecified damages, declared Section 230 unconstitutional, and restore Trump's accounts. So people sometimes say, "Oh, he was in the office, and so he should have took down Section 230." But Section 230 came about in 1996 under the Communications Decency Act. So that's an act of Congress, right? President. We keep thinking these presidents have power. No, hell, you can argue that the Senate has more power than anybody. Senators have more power and influence than anybody, right? It really is just resources and networking and who can you get on your side, really. But as far as the president, I mean, the whole checks and balance, which I don't think people in America even pay attention when they learn American government growing up in school, because no one's really supposed to have power over anybody in any part of the branches of government. But don't worry, education, facts, things like that don't matter in today's world, right? Everybody just wants to feel some type of way. So says declare Section 230 unconstitutional. So this would be one way he can attack that 230 by being a civilian and being a law and having a lawsuit. So you have to wonder, not that if this was always part of the plan, but was this always an option in the back of his mind? Because plans within plans within plans, meaning that if something goes wrong or something doesn't happen the way that you want it to happen, predicted in this timeline of the events that you want to happen, always have a backup plan. Somebody tell my kids all the time, have a backup plan. Always have a backup plan. It's something I learned from my parents. Always have a backup plan. Not A, not B, not C, not D, not E. Just continuously going on. In case shit doesn't fucking work out, because you can only control so much. In fact, you only want to control so much, because too much control means now you have the perception of power. Now you're close to becoming a fucking villain. I don't trust nobody with too much power or a perception of power. Power drives you crazy, bro. I don't want that shit. I wouldn't trust. I'm gonna continue to go on record for this. Don't ever let me have too much power. I don't trust myself. I don't trust myself. I don't know what the fuck I might do. I don't know. I don't know if I'll be a good person. Don't know if I'll be a bad person. I don't know what the fuck I might do. It is what it is, man. Let's see. Along with several other plaintiffs who joined the suits and have also had their posts or accounts removed. So it's so would that make a class action lawsuit then? Trump's lawsuit, however, are likely doomed to fail, said Eric Goldman, a law professor at Santa Clara University in California, who has studied more than 60 similar failed lawsuits that sought to take on internet companies for terminating or suspending users' accounts. They argue everything under the sun, including First Amendment, and they get nowhere, Goldman said. Maybe he's got a trick up his sleeve that'll give him a leg up on dozens of lawsuits before him. I doubt it. But he just said it. He just said he has a trick up his sleeve. I doubt it, but if there's always precedent set, and like, what does he know? What tactic? What art of war strategy, tips or whatever that they have, tactics that they have that they can combat this lawsuit in a meaningful way, where they're not just in it to be in it, but in it to win it. Damn, I did not mean to do it like that, but you get it rhymes, but you get what I'm saying. Let's see. Trump's suit is DOA, dead on arrival, echo Paul Barrett, the deputy director of the Center for Business and Human Rights at New York's University Stern School of Business. Where the fuck they find these people at, bro? Like, what? See that? Oh my God, this is probably a private university. Yeah, since NYU is private university. Whatever, whatever. Barrett said Trump was fundamentally misunderstanding the Constitution. The First Amendment applies to government censorship or speech regulation. It does not stop private sector corporations from regulating content on their platforms. I like how they try to dissect this First Amendment or the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. I mean, I don't know how much more blatant it gets than that. The First Amendment is the First Amendment, freedom of speech. Say what the fuck you want to say. Now, can you create terms of agreements and policies and stuff? Yeah. But just because someone said something you didn't like doesn't mean they violated terms of agreement. As far as we all know, I mean, as far as it goes, as long as you're not literally threatening someone, and don't we already have laws in local jurisdictions and state legislations and federal laws to combat that type of behavior? So tech companies don't even have to do that, right? These private companies, even though they're publicly owned companies, but whatever, still private companies. Now they can set whatever rules and policy and stuff they want to, and I don't have to abide by it. And they ban me, and they do it. But if you're saying something that is just factual, if you're saying something that's just an opinion, and just because they don't like an opinion, because we got to pay attention on how obviously it's a slippery slope, because this past year we keep opening up the door to more and more outrageous bullshit, right? Right? You have a whole Pride Month and stuff, and next thing you know, you have kinkiness and stuff. Next thing you know, you have kids involved in kinkiness, right? Like, you open up the door, your shit doesn't stop. So that's where we're kind of going at with this, because you can see the arguments on both sides, but it's like, hey, we need to have a balance, because we're opening up the door. Because what stops? Does it stop here? What if all of a sudden your company doesn't, the business that you work for or whatever is a private company and stuff, and they don't like what the fuck you said on your social media account, right? Maybe you had a disagreement about something that happened at work, right? Next thing you know, you're fired for it because you had a difference of opinions. Not that you said anything hateful, not that you said anything mean, not that you try to threaten anybody's life or anything like that, but because you have a difference of opinion. Now all of a sudden you're being penalized for it, and that's what this seems to be kind of illustrating. What happens when you disagree with someone on a massive public forum where everybody can see, and the company over it, do they allow it? Are they worried about the advertiser? Because what it comes down to for the private company is about money. You don't give a fuck what you say. They just follow the money. If the people that are investing in them and the people that are running the board and the CEOs and stuff, if the people that like I said, that are investing in them, I can't think of the other thing I was about to say. Ad revenues, excuse me, yeah. As far as ad revenues, commercial, yeah, people trying to get commercials and stuff like that on their platforms, selling ads, different things like that. If they say, hey, we are not dealing with you because you allowed this one dude, guess what? They're gonna take them down. That's really what it comes down to. So it's two opposite. It's two clashing entities coming at each other. Universal law of polarity. Two entities coming at each other. Yet at the same time, both entities have different perspectives on which they're trying to argue their perspective. So neither one of them is wrong. But Trump is coming at First Amendment speech saying, hey, I can say whatever I want. And then these private companies, Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, are saying, hey, you can say whatever you want, but you're not saying where you want on this platform, because what you're saying goes against our investors and the people we sell ads to. They don't like you, so we're taking you down. They don't want this type of stuff being said on our platforms. Or, yeah, they don't want to hear this stuff being said on a platform because they want to sell to a particular audience. And you being there fucks up their ad revenue. So they're looking at their money being lost. And meanwhile, Trump and whoever else in the lawsuit is saying, hey, why can't I say what the fuck I want to say? All right. So you can see both sides of the argument, but they're two separate arguments. Right? So what it comes down to is how that Trump card, so to speak, the trick up his sleeve. How does he try to merge those two separate arguments into one thing that makes sense for everybody involved and for the outside parties looking in. So that'll be the biggest thing for him, for the Trump, for the lawyers, or the people in this lawsuit to do, because the private companies, they're gonna argue just the fact that, oh well, we're a private entity, we said this, you can't say this, you can't say that, and stuff, right? We're going down a slippery slope, and it's interesting because the ramifications of this is significant, right? Because the shit I talk about, I mean, it doesn't get me, well, it does get me banned, it does get me suspended or striked on YouTube, and then on the other platforms I upload to, guess what? They don't ban me, but they suppress it. Because anytime I get a little traction, anytime I see the numbers go up, like I tell you, like, my numbers are still extremely small. So anytime I see the numbers go up, a viewership or whatever interaction, all of a sudden, whew, it just goes away. It just goes away. All of a sudden, one day I'll have 10, right? I'll have like 10 views on something uploaded on YouTube. And then the next thing you know, I'll have 0 views. And you say, oh, well, you're talking about different topics. Yeah, nah, you can make that argument, but to an extent, I usually talk about pretty much most of the same shit, right? Making fun of, some of these mainstream media articles and things like that going on in America and around the world. Things that are, prominent in the news cycle, sort of, right? I do talk about stuff that, you won't actually hear. But then I can have a one video or whatever do like a few hundred views, right? Why? 'Cause I'm talking about aliens, right? So the ramifications, of people or content creators uploading different things, like, this is actually gonna be a big case because it affects the rest of us that are making content, that are doing podcasts, doing whatever. Because one private company, if they went out, if Facebook and YouTube and Twitter went out, then guess what? The rest of these private companies are gonna be like, oh well, hey, they were allowed to, censor whoever they want to, regardless of freedom of speech. So we're gonna do the same thing. They're just gonna look to their investors and the people they sell their ads to, and be like, hey, let us know if you don't like these people, or if you don't want certain things said on our platform, and we'll cater to you, because that's where their money's coming from, right? They're not necessarily making money off of your subscriptions or whatever. That's where their money is coming from. So it'll be interesting to kind of pay attention to this over the long haul and see how this all works out or whatever. Shit. I'm trying to figure out, I probably skipped over, I know I skipped over some of this article and stuff, but it's trying to figure out if there's anything else. Because when you read these Trump articles, they like, this should be about the facts of the situation, the case and stuff. Then it goes on, it talks about, I don't know why DeSantis up here. Trump move comes weeks after a federal judge blocked a new Florida law signed by Trump ally, Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, that sought to punish large social media companies like Facebook and Twitter for removing content or banning politicians. That's the thing too, because when this happened to Trump, he was a politician. Fucking politician. He was a goddamn president of the United States. Now, that's significant in itself, because how do you sign as the president of the United States? Right? A title that supposedly the whole world holds up so high, yet when it comes to these private companies like a Facebook and a YouTube and a Twitter, they say, oh, he ain't shit, bye. Right? that's kind of odd, right? It lets you know, like, who's in charge or who has power over the country. Also lets you know that none of this shit should exist. Nobody should have power. Nobody should be in charge. But the world's not ready for that. I often say we should be fully self-sufficient, decentralize everything, free markets, all on our own. Obviously, those are kind of libertarian traits, where, but I mean, at the same time, I don't even like that word. It just makes sense to me. It makes sense to me. If you believe in a higher power, a deity, if you think we're all connected and everything going on and stuff, like, well, okay, I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do, because I'm gonna make sure it doesn't affect you, because we're connected in some way or some shape or form, whether I know it or not. Or whether I could see it or not, or I could perceive it, At its core, we're all connected. So I'm gonna make sure I don't fuck up you, because if I fuck up you, it fucks up me. So to me, it makes sense, right? But I know the rest of the world ain't ready for that. So a lot of us need governance. A lot of us need somebody to tell them what to do. That's why some of y'all wake up and go to work every day, because you need someone to tell you what the fuck to do all day, every day. Because if you didn't, you wouldn't know what to do with yourself. Plain and simple. Like that's just the facts of the situation. That's not a knock on anybody, but hey, that's just who you are as an individual. You need someone to guide you, to tell you where to go, when to sleep, when to eat, stuff like that. Me, I don't like nobody telling me what to do. I have a problem with authority, because who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? But that's just my own side note rant. Let's go on to the next topic. So, as I was talking about earlier, as far as the Lightning game, it was exciting, right? To see fans, even at the game one of the Phoenix Suns and stuff. Phoenix rise from the ashes. Phoenix XRP. Just thought I'd throw that out there. But it was interesting to see fans at the Phoenix Suns game against the Milwaukee Bucks, because you have NBA Finals games at home. You get a bunch of people in the audience, stuff like that. Like, this is what we want to see. I don't want to watch no fucking games when there's nobody there, right? There's nobody there. That's just boring. It's weird. It's odd. It's really fucking disturbing. You got a big ass arena and ain't nobody fucking in that bitch. It's a waste of a building, right? Why even have the power and the lights on this shit when ain't nobody here to really watch this? And like WWE, like the wrestling, they still don't have no fans there, and they just got all these little screens up. That shit is creepy, man. Anytime I see screenshots or wherever, anytime I see still pictures and stuff like that, or just watching clips of the WWE, like SmackDown, whatever event they got going on, or just their weekly shows, and not to see no fans there, fucking creepy as hell, bro. Like, come on, man. Nobody want to see that shit. What are you talking about? A dystopian future? What are you talking? I'm not trying to look at this. This is odd. I want to see human beings, bro. I don't even like human beings, but I want to at least see them enjoying themselves, man. Because it's part of the It's part of the speculation. Or is that a good word? Whatever. This is part of the atmosphere. It's part of it all. So to have the Tokyo Games come out now it's been following the story, I think, since last night and early this morning, and just constantly been updated. So this is from BBC, BBC News, British Broadcasting Company. You're dirty. You got a nasty mind. It says Tokyo Olympic Games spectators barred as state of emergency announced. Now, before I even go into the article, just think about it, how fucked up this is. You knew the Olympics was coming, right? They stopped the Olympics last year. Different things can happen and stuff. You have the European finals, or Euros, right? The Euro Cup, right? You have that going on. You got all these Olympic trials been going on and stuff, and some of them have fans. You got all these sports is starting to be back to normal in the around the world. The Olympics in Tokyo, they've been preparing this shit. Now there's been kind of an internal struggle. I want to know if it's between the emperor or the prime minister or whoever. Like, it's been an internal struggle trying to figure out, okay, we're gonna have the games or not. Okay, we're gonna have the games. We're gonna have fans or not. It just seems kind of interesting that, all of a sudden they get a surge in COVID-19 cases and bam, right? Fans are gone from the games. In a technologically advanced society, understand Japan is not that big, right? Japan is probably about the size of what? Fucking New Jersey to Virginia. It's not even that long, is it? I don't even know. It's not that big. I've been there once. I think I just stopped there at the airport going from Korea. Yeah. And Tokyo is one of the places I always want to go to. I like anime. I like some of the things that goes on over there. I mean, it's just like us anyways, but whatever. So to have this be no fans, the fuck? This is gonna be the weirdest shit ever in terms of sporting events. You're talking about something that happens every 4 years. I love the Olympics. The Summer Games, I love the fucking Olympics. I love the Olympics, man. Right? It's one of those things where all these different countries go against each other and stuff like that. But at the same time, like it's in a confined area. There's rules and regulations and stuff. You can have the winner and stuff like that, and we can kind of compete against each other, but in a superficial way. Meaning, there is no real meaning to this. America tends to win a lot of gold medals and stuff in some of the more prominent events, but people gotta understand too. You got about 300 plus million people in America, so it's a lot of bodies. There's a lot of different chances where you having more success in the sports world. And in China, you got a billion people, more bodies, more opportunities for chances of success in regards to sporting competitions. But why do this? Why do this, right? Why do this? So it says Olympics minister Mayo Murakua made the announcement following discussions with officials and organizers on Thursday evening. A state of emergency in Tokyo will run Thursday evening. Oh, on BBC. I was like, God damn! I was like, wait, what? Oh fuck! I messed my own self up. Okay, I'm good now. I'm good now. Okay, so a state of emergency in Tokyo will run throughout the games to combat coronavirus. They just said, fuck it, state of emergency right before the games, even though they've been in preparation for the games. And like I said, technological advanced society and stuff, digital payments, things like that, they don't really touch people. Even I think it's Japanese culture and Korean culture. That's why you bow. No handshake, stuff like that. Personal space is not really invaded. If I'm not mistaken, could be I could be wrong, but this is stuff at the top of my head that I'm thinking about as far as the culture and how things go, to perceived culture, whatever. People love to use that word. But as far as it goes in Tokyo, my thing is, what's happening, what's coming. Why are you not fully prepared? And I'm gonna play, just go along with this whole COVID shit, because in reality, it don't exist. I mean, you're just getting sick, flu, common cold, respiratory illness, whatever. You'll be okay. But let's go along with this COVID shit. If you know this was gonna happen and you had well over a year to prepare for it, now it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have the games, but we're gonna not have the fans here. Notice how they keep trying to keep us regular people out, right? Like a legit separation between us regular people and the main events we see going on in the world. Like, hey, you guys can watch, but you can never participate. You can never be that close to it. And we want you to know that you are and always will be just a spectator, situated far away from us as we put on these sports entertainment. So that's what you kind of feel disconnect, right? It says Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga, I messed that up, told reporters it would run from July 12th and remain in place until 22 August. All right, yeah, 12 July and remain in place until 22 August. Coronavirus infections are rising in Tokyo as the 23 July opening ceremony edges closer. There has been widespread opposition to the games in Japan, right? They're already opposing it, right? And Tokyo and Japan just trying to make sure, hey, they get their fucking revenue, because it's in theory it's supposed to be a boost to the economy when you have these Olympic Games. Although if you look at past Olympic Games in the cities that hosted them, boost the economy seems to only been temporary and not really. I'm not gonna go that route. I don't know too much about that, but yeah. It says, quote, taking into consideration the effect of coronavirus variants. Here we go. Variants, because that's all that matters, right? You notice how these narratives all string together and they're always used to support one another. Anytime somebody wants to do something, oh well, we got this new variant, Delta variant. So we didn't have this before last year. We were preparing for this previous variant, but with this new variant, oh my God, we don't know what to do. It's almost like we heard this story before, because SARS-CoV-2 is a variant of SARS-CoV-1. But don't worry, they kept telling us this is brand new. We never heard of this virus before. Continue on with the quote. This is coronavirus variants, and not to let the infection spread again, and not to let the infection spread again to the rest of the nation. We need to strengthen our countermeasures, the prime minister said. It says hour before the decision to bar spectators, Tokyo 2020 chief Sayako Hashimoto said, "We need to issue a message which is strong and easy to understand from the point of view of preventing the further spread of the virus." End quote. State of emergency was announced after a meeting between the organizing committee, the government, and the International Olympic Committee, the IOC, President Thomas Bach, who has just arrived in Japan. The Olympic Games are scheduled to take place in Japanese capital between 23 July and 8 August. So you tell me, something like 2 weeks, bro. So you tell me for 2 fucking weeks, you can't have fans there? For 2 weeks, you tell me you can't go into preparation to handle something for 2 weeks. So you did all this preparation in the past year, and you can't handle 2 fucking weeks of tourism? People coming in. I mean, how many people are going to go there anyways? Like, let's be honest. Isn't a lot of travel restrictions in place? So how many fucking fans were they actually going to have there, other than the local population, right? Our family members, and that's what bothers me right there. You know, I just thought about that. That's a good point. Are family members allowed? Because yes, you'll have people traveling there in a normal year or whatever, but because travel restrictions are still in place around different countries around the world, how many people are actually going to be able to go anyways? And that's good. That's a legitimate question, to be honest with you. How many people were theoretically would have been able to go anyways? And then out of those people who theoretically would have been able to go, who the fuck would have went? Right? Theoretically and actuality, who would have went to the games? And then, like I said, the family members of these athletes, are they not allowed to fucking come to the games? Are they not allowed to travel with their family members to support them? I mean, if my daughter's in the fucking Olympics, hey, I want to be there. Is Bruce Springsteen gonna be there since his daughter in the fucking Olympics? Right? Like, these are legitimate questions. So, are we barring fans? Or are we barring regular people? Right? So, I'm gonna scroll down this article real quick. No. Do people in Japan want the Olympics? What's happening in COVID? So yeah, they only touch on this. It says the Paralympic Games are between 24 August and 5 September. So so state of emergency ends 2 days before the Paralympics begin. Whatever. Now that's a good point to make too. Have foresight. Are they gonna let fans at the Paralympic Games? Okay, so it talks about what's happening with COVID in Japan. A new wave of infections began in April, but in fucking April, bro. April. Okay, but overall, the country has had relatively low case numbers and a death toll of around 14,900. The population of Japan is what? Fuck. I'm just gonna pull up my phone real quick because I really want to know what the population of Japan is. Because that makes me wonder. Because they don't give context when they have these numbers sometimes. So population of Japan, Wikipedia pulled it up real quick. 125 million. So yeah, I was thinking about 100 million. So 100 million people, right? 125 million approximately. 14,900 case numbers and death toll since April. Do we want to do the math on that? I'll do the math on that real quick. Because once again, context matters, right? So 14,900 divided by 125 million, right? Times 100 to give me a percentage. We got 0.01192%. Or 0.0 1% chance of you catching the virus. And I guess with an influx of people, you're not getting millions of people. Say you get 5 million people, right? So now it goes from 125 million to 130 million people. So your chances go from point zero 0.01, what was it, 0.0199, whatever I had on there, 0.01192, probably to 0.015 or some shit like that, without me even trying to do the math. So context, right? Numbers mean things. It says on Wednesday there were 2,180 new cases reported in the country. Some 920 of those were in Tokyo, up from 714 last week, at its highest since 1010 on 13 May. 13. 13, 13, 13. Numerology, number means things because fucking these numbers keep popping up. I'm gonna start. I really gotta understand numerology better because there's a lot of numbers being floated around in this article. Now I'm starting to think about it, man. I mean, it's dates and whatever. So it was the population of Tokyo, a million plus people, right? Easily. That's not bad, man. So your odds again is not bad. Oh, they do mention it. It says Japan's vaccination rollout has been slow, and just over 50% of the country is fully vaccinated. There is rising concern over the threat of the Delta variant. God, I gotta get my full setup, man. I need the fucking MIDI board so I can have sound effects. Delta variant. Delta variant. I told you. It's like you only have to, because they're all connected. They all talk and say the same shit. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can read one article and you'll find out about something, and then because we talked about the Delta variant the other day, and look how it's affecting everything. Because past lets you know what's gonna happen in the future because they do the same shit over and over because no one's paying attention. No one cares. Either people are paying attention and they don't care, or people not paying attention at all. Or people are paying attention and they're trying to do something. Anything. There's people like myself and others throughout the internet, whether they're big or small, just trying to say something to somebody and be like, hey, is everyone else not seeing this shit? As I sound like a complete lunatic half the time and ranting and raving, because I'm like, oh my God, do y'all not see this shit? Is anybody not paying attention? What? Okay, well, see, that's what I'm talking about. It says entry to Japan by foreigners from 159 countries, including the UK, is currently banned. So people can't go there anyways. So, like I said, if you're not gonna have fans there, people can't even travel to the country anyways. So, what fans are you actually stopping from being there? Other than, for the most part, the local population. Maybe some of the other surrounding Asian countries. I hate saying it. Eurasian countries. There's no Asian continents. Eurasian. Eurasian countries. Right? So stupid, bro. What, you gonna stop Australians from coming over there to watch to support their country, their fellow country men, country brethren, country women, country sisters, whatever you want to say? This says, do people in Japan want the Olympics? There's a lot of opposition to the games, which have already been postponed by a year of COVID-19. Blah 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 blah. It says a June poll in the leading Asahi Shimbun newspaper, I know I'm saying this wrong, suggested more than 80% of the population wanted the games canceled or postponed. Notice how it says suggested more than 80%. I'm pretty sure if I click on it, the fucking poll would be shitty. 80%, they probably did 8 out of 10 people, random people or something like that. Oh yeah, see, look, 80%. And those 8 out of 10 people probably already been vaccinated or something like that as well. Paper also called for them to be canceled. Oh, well, so the paper also called for them to be canceled, and yet they having to do a poll and publish the poll in favor of regular people saying that they want, or the local population saying they want the games canceled. That's not biased at all. What about all the local businesses stuff that got local shops, eateries, places like that? Cause that's what if I'm going to Japan and stuff for a little bit of game, what you think I'm gonna do, bro? Fucking going around, eating up the different food, going to shops, seeing the different historic sites and stuff like that. Like I'm making a full vacation out of it. So you're increasing your tourism, right? That's where the increase in economy comes from. That because tourism is part of the economy. Tourism is part of local business. You want people to come to your area, and that's why you try to act like what you're doing is completely different from other people around the world because you want people to come there to spend their fucking money. And this is also now I think about it, ties into the so-called cultural perspective that we think everyone has different from us, but we have that mindset because well, money. If I tell you I got something different going on, and you be like, oh man, they got something different going on down there in Florida. They have a whole different culture. I want to go down there and visit so I can see something different because they have a different culture. But really, everybody does the same shit. Food is food. It might taste slightly different. It might be cooked and prepared a slightly different way. But guess what? You put the shit in your body, you eat it, right? It gives you nutrients, you fucking survive. Everything else is semantics. But we call that culture. I just had to throw that out there. I thought it was interesting to kind of bring it up at this moment, and that's how my mind works all over the fucking place. Even though I made that make sense and connect. That's something my daughter was telling me the other day. She's like, yeah, sometimes you just go on for hours, but it's like it's interesting that you just talk for hours and hours. I was like, I know, right? But it's crazy that I can make it all connect. She's like, yeah, you do. You make it all connect and make it make sense. I was like, I don't know if I have a unique thing, but that's just how my mind works. I just feel like I can't be the only one that's thinking like this, even though my kids think the same way, but whatever. So public spectators sites have been scrapped and companies have been hesitant about advertising related to the Olympics because of the widespread opposition to them. You talking about destabilizing the nation and a local economy. I mean, obviously it shouldn't, I shouldn't even say that because it shouldn't destabilize them because they weren't hoping for this, but at the same time, I mean, they weren't hoping for it. I mean, they already operate without the Olympics on a day-to-day basis, but the build-up to having the Olympics, because it's announced a few years before that you have the Olympic stuff, and all these countries go into the committee and try to showcase their country and their local population and their major city that they want to host the Olympics at. And they go all this preparation stuff, and then for really to fall through because there's no fans, there's nobody there. Where's the revenue coming at? Where's the revenue coming at? Other than TV contracts and app, but those goes to those TV stations, those media outlets. So to me, this is a bigger issue than because it has economical implications, and at the same time, from a regular humanity level, it's fucked up too. I'm tired of seeing these things, these sporting events, without fans. Stop trying to show me something on the fucking screen. Like the reason why I'm watching on the TV screen because I can't be there. But seeing people be there lets me know that hey, there's a chance I can go. Now, if I play my cards right, if I do what I need to do and stuff in life, and I get my money straight, then I can go as well. As long as I plan for it, because you can go anywhere you want to, no matter how much money you make, as long as you plan for it. Whether it take you a year or 2 years, you can still make that trip, right? But not seeing no fans there, what's your first thought of? Damn, guess I can't go no fucking where because they ain't letting nobody there, and the people fucking live there. Right? You see how it kind of demoralizes the rest of the world? See, there's always more ramifications. There's always a lot of effects to a certain cause, but we don't think of it that way. Although this might shock us because in the long hundreds of years history, right, of the Olympics, not to have fans there, you have to wonder, is this a first? I mean, it seems like it would be, right? Probably not. Probably not. So I got one last thing. This shit. I wasn't gonna talk. I had this article. I wasn't necessarily gonna talk about it, but I was actually watching High Roots TV Reacts. And listen to Mo talk and stuff, and just I was as I was getting ready setting up today's show and stuff, where get my webpage and everything straight. I sit here and watch YouTube videos, just listen to little things, and sometimes just background noise. But I had this article already. I didn't know if I was gonna talk about it or not. But when I seen Hyru's TV react because he was talking about it and stuff, I was shocked that I didn't know that this song was out already. I thought they were gonna release the song soon and then a video later on this month. But the video is already here and the song's already here. So I'm gonna get copyrighted on YouTube, but fuck YouTube, doesn't matter anyways. Go check this out on Odyssey. And so this is from Fox 13 News, which is just be on Fox anyways. Backs that thing up. Yep. Juvenile remixes 1999 classic for dating app. Constantly in the hip hop community because I love rap. And to watch so many people just sell out. And there seems to be you know what? They are, for the most part, these people are already sold out. Right? People are already sold out. But I shouldn't be shocked by it, but at the same time, it's like, damn, bro. How many more celebrities are we just gonna watch this, switch up on us right in front of our face? But then again, we never knew these people at all anyway, so that's on me for being naive, thinking, why come like, oh man, you too? But it's like, it really should be like, hey, gosh, no surprise here. All y'all sell y'all souls. You sell your integrity and stuff for money. This is wild, bro. So it says rapper Juvenile performs on, okay, let's talk about something else. So it says a song that rocked over 99 into 2000. I was a kid. What was it? I was in middle school. I think I should have been in 6th grade, 7th grade, something like that. Yeah, we have like dances and stuff at like school or whatever, or just out in the neighborhood or wherever I'm at. Play that song on, girls are, shaking their ass, right? This is what teenagers do. I don't know why people act like it's a shock sometimes. Like, this is what kids do. This is especially with stuff that's on TV and everything. You can't stop them from everything, but, it is what it is. It says getting a revamp into an effort to get people vaccinated. So clearly, this is a targeted thing towards a specific culture, hip hop community, which seems to be predominantly black, even though it's not, right? That's a misconception. It's not predominantly black. You might see, they might continue to show us predominantly black people performing, but the people that are consuming are predominantly white. And that's been known for, since the late 90s, early 2000s. They're the one buying the products, stuff like that, right? But once again, race, culture, it's all just labels to make people feel better. Doesn't matter. None of the shit makes sense. So it says BLK, the largest dating app, never heard of this shit in my entire fucking life, made for black singles, partnered with rap legends Juvenile, Manny Fresh, and Mia X, turned the iconic rap classic Back That Thing Up into a new vaccine anthem called Backs That Thing Up. Backs That Thing Up. You can't make this shit up, bro. This is wild, man. This is so funny. And it's so fucked up on so many levels. We're talking about an ass-shaking booty song, right? That's already degrading. I wouldn't necessarily degrading to women because women choose to be in that shit and men choose to participate in it. So that's on their own choices, to each their own. But it's already a hypersexualized song in nature, anyways. So they're talking about getting a vaccine, and so you can hook up, and something that Hyru Mo pointed out and stuff, which is the obvious thing anyway. So it's not like it's a big statement to make that we're talking about vaccines, getting vaccinated so we can go have sex, but yet no one's talking about STDs or HIV or AIDS or anything or condoms or something like that. And it's geared towards black people, which I'm tired of seeing these fucking commercials geared towards black people. As I'm watching NBA Finals, I think I talked about it the other day. As I'm watching NBA Finals, seeing HIV ads, and there's nothing but black people in it, and you can tell it's geared towards black people. And it's like, hey, fuck you. I don't know. You trying to identify with someone that has a similar skin tone as me? You kiss my ass. I'm not going. That's why I don't like this. That's why I don't like race, because what goes on with race is groupthink. And as you're seeing, nothing is more relevant in the psychological manipulation of people other than groupthink. If you can get everybody to think, if you get people to align themselves in a specific group, now you can manipulate everybody within that so-called group because everyone has already adopted that groupthink mentality. I do individual. I'm an individual because I'm not trying to be grouped with the rest of y'all. Because the second I get grouped with the rest of y'all, all of a sudden now I gotta walk and talk, eat shit, think the way the rest of y'all think, right? And when I say I'm trying to follow people to think like me, I'm talking about other people that think independently of themselves. Now we come to the same conclusions independently, then that's just called we happen to agree. That's it. But it doesn't mean that we think alike. You get what I'm saying? So shit like this that promotes groupthink, I don't like things that promote groupthink. And this is one big ass targeted campaign to promote groupthink, and nobody should accept this shit. This is wild. You know, we're gonna watch the video. We're gonna watch the video. I'm gonna get copyrighted. Don't give a fuck. So this is BLK presents Backs That Thing Up featuring Juvenile, Manny Fresh, and Mia X. For those of you on the audio version of the podcast, it has that classic like Juvenile, late 1999, late 90s, 1999. Think of No Limit, Cash Money Records, stuff like that. If you know what I'm talking about, that's what YouTube is for. Go look that shit up, and then you'll be like, okay, I get it. It has one of those type of cover arts and stuff. And then it got needles and shit, and then it has COVID-19 vaccination cards. This is so wrong, bro. This is so wrong. And this goes along with what they did. When I think I talked about it. I made a YouTube video about it with Run DMC. Oh, not Run DMC. DMC from Run DMC. Excuse me, Daryl McDaniels. As he on there rapping, talking about get vaccinated, get vaccinated. No, bro, you fucking get vaccinated. You leave me alone, right? My medical issues and my medical choices are my own. Don't tell me to get vaccinated. You get vaccinated. You got a problem? You go get it. That's what you want to do? You do that shit. Don't try to encourage me. If you want to encourage me to think for myself and do my own research. And that's it. But they don't, notice they won't tell you that. They won't tell you to think for yourself, do your own research and shit like that because they want you to go along with groupthink because it doesn't matter. They got paid. And that's why, before I even play this video, I want to make that point clear. Juvenile, Manny Fresh, Mia X, they got paid. They took a paycheck to make this shit. They're saying, we don't give a fuck. Hey, you want to say it? Whatever. They know they're not going to get ostracized for it. They know they're not going to get scrutinized for it. And because of how this is adopted in mainstream around the world, telling everybody to get vaccinated and stuff, they know they're not on the wrong side of anything. So they're good. You're going to collect a paycheck, shoot this music video, redo the song, and take their money and then go back home. And can you fault them for that? I mean, to each your own. You feel like you fault them for it, but if they don't agree with it, now you have to question their integrity and clearly the hypocrisy of it all. They better be vaccinated. I know that much. They better be fucking vaccinated. Doesn't even say in this article. Of course it doesn't. They better be vaccinated. It says BLK said. God damn, they don't even proofread, man. The fucking, you know what? AI has to do better. Soft version of AI's programming and stuff do better writing these articles. I hope an AI did this. Nope, a real person wrote this by Ronnie Marley. I hope that's not association with the Marleys. But BLK said Black adults under the age of 40 are the most likely group to avoid COVID-19 vaccination, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. I don't know how to come about that shit, but whatever. So this is targeted towards me. Cool, got it.
Day chat, find a mate chat, open up BOK ass, okay yeah, profile picture looking tight chat, nice chat, got your bio reading right chat, precise chat, but before you find a date chat, you gotta wait chat, gotta go vaccinate chat, get it straight chat, girl you look
I can't. I'm 20 seconds in. The video is only 1 minute 48 seconds long. It's a fucking commercial. I'm 20 seconds in. I can't make it through this shit, bro. Make it through this shit, man. I mean, obviously they put attractive females in it because that's what I'm looking at. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm looking at the females. I'm like, okay, I can stomach this as long as the females are cute and shit. I'm looking at Juvenile. He still got gold teeth and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, you get the old vibes and stuff like that. Of course, you hear that song, that beat goes hard, right? Makes you want to get up and move around and dance and jump and stuff. But I'm listening to the lyrics, and it's like, what the fuck? So one is promoting promiscuity, it's promoting I can't think of the other word I was going to say. Well, hypersexualization is promoting a lot of sexual activity, casual sex goes along with that culture as well. I don't really like that. I'm not a casual sex person. Obviously, to talk about my lack of sex life, lack of sex life. When I say lack, I mean non-existent. But that's by choice. And this is going along with hookup culture. That's what I want to say. So if this is going along with hookup culture, are there more prominent things than getting vaccinated? Like I said, STDs, fucking herpes, shit, fucking like there's other things to worry about, bro.
Vax that thing up. Use a handsome young brother, want you vax that thing up.
Vax that thing up.
Real life, you need to vax that thing up. Feeling freaky all night, you need to vax that
So,
thing up. Girl, you look skilled, want you vax that thing up. Use a handsome young brother, want you vax that thing up. Dating real life, you need to vax that thing up. Feeling freaky all night, you need to vax that thing up.
I know you can't stand it, no holding hands, chick. But when we get the shot, we gonna be romancing, girl.
no, what? No holding hands, but when we get the shot, we're gonna be romancing. Oh my god, let me turn on the captions. Like, what the fuck? I put on the caption. They put this shit in fucking Dutch. What for? Why they put it in Dutch? I can't believe this is happening. Yeah, they put it in Dutch. Huh? That's odd. That's that's actually really disturbing now I think about. I don't know why they put it in Dutch. Romance of the Queen discount Wickham Europe at savings. What? What?
Be the queen after quarantine. We could meet up at the spot and we could do the thing. Internet date chat, I'm your mate chat. Download the app, shorty, you ain't gotta wait chat. I love it when you hold me, eggplant emoji. You could be the young hot thing, I'll be the OG.
He said eggplant emoji and it showed pictures of eggplant emojis. This is so stupid. I can't. Is this a comedy? They can't be serious, man. Like I said, they took the money, so they don't give a fuck. And if they didn't get vaccinated, they're hypocrites. I at least respect them if they got vaccinated and they really believe this. But if they didn't get vaccinated, don't really believe this shit, and they're just taking the money. Like you lack integrity. But that seems to be a common thing in American anyway. So now, no surprise, especially in American entertainment. No surprise there. Oh man. Oh man, this feels like a whole comedy. It really does.
Good, want you vax that thing up. Use a handsome young brother, want you vax that thing up. Dating real life, you need to
She's a nurse at she's her medical scrub shaking her ass. Oh wait. Hold on, let me go back. It says, let me go back. It says no vaccine, no bucking. She got a COVID-19 vaccination card in her hand. You can't make this shit up, bro. What is going on, man? What is going on? Oh my god. Every time I think I have hope for humanity, you got a gel tattoo Bart Simpson. A gel Bart Simpson tattoo. I just messed up my whole words. Oh man. No vaccine, no fucking. Once again, another attractive female. So you're like, hey, see how it messes with the subconscious mind? I'm like, okay, these women are attractive. And your mindset is, well, damn, I need to get vaccinated so I get with a woman like that. Right? Right? All these women are attractive in this music video. So I'm like, so subconsciously, it hits you like, man, I need to make sure I get my vaccine. So I'm trying to fuck that. That's what you're thinking, right? Especially for dudes or dudes, females, whatever the case may be. Well, I mean, they showed some, like they did show when they were talking about handsome dudes, they just showed some handsome dudes and stuff like that anyway. So obviously it applies to both sexes. But you know, it gets you, right? It gets you. Like right now, I'm looking at this girl in the back in the blonde and stuff. I'm like, oh, she looks good. So at the same time, me as the typical male, my self-conscious mind is like, man, if I do get vaccinated, I go ahead and I ain't gotta worry about that shit. I seen on Twitter on Tinder. Every now and then I download Tinder just to remind myself that yeah, I want to be left alone. Because as I swipe left on everybody and I randomly, uh, rarely swipe right, I'm just like, man, I just don't get it. I don't understand none of these people no more, man. I don't understand humanity. I don't. I guess I do at a point, but what I don't understand is the lack of logic. A lack of logic. Like it's like nobody thinks and uses their brain to say, hey, we're worried about this. Where's your promotion for STDs? Right? Where's your promotion for condoms? Where's your promotion? How about where's your promotion for non-casual sex? Why do we have to always have hookup culture be so prominent in America? Right? Days of Babylon. That's why people around the world look at America like y'all look sinful as fuck over there. Y'all have no principles, no morality, no values. Like I said, you can do whatever you want, but man, like man, you know, oh man, oh okay, whatever. Let me finish. Herd immunity. Want to get smash some dude named Scott. Oh man, beat go hard still, man. Backs that thing up. BLK. Oh my god. So hashtag backs that thing up. Hashtag smash with Scott. I gotta make a post on Twitter later and making fun of this shit, man. I hope this shit gets trending. I'm not my post in Pacific, but I'm just saying this hashtag because it's the most ridiculous shit, man. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it with that. I'm just gonna leave it with that, man. This world. I'm trying to have hope for humanity, bro. I really am. Like I really am, man. I'm really trying to have hope for humanity. Obviously, this is a microcosm. It's not that serious stuff, but you know what? It says Juvenile told TMZ he wanted to do something positive. This is a direct quote. He wanted to do something positive for his community and to show how much he cares about protecting not only himself but also his family. Now, I'm not gonna go into the vaccine and stuff. 'Cause I said enough time. You know what? Fuck, I'm still gonna say it. You want to talk about protecting your family? The best thing you protect your family is by doing your own research on the vaccine. Now, if you choose to get that vaccine because you feel like you're in a specific category or demographic, uh, physically wise, or you know, as far as your health and stuff like that, all right, cool. If you're getting pressured into it because of job, all right, cool. But if you're trying to get vaccinated because you want to go out and fuck somebody, you need to question what's going on in your life. You need to make, I don't know what the fuck to tell you, man. You need to make better life choices and decisions or really contemplate exactly what it is you're doing. My hope for humanity just got a little bit smaller after watching that video. Wow. Whatever, bro. I'll be back on tomorrow. So until next time.